And we are open for questions. We're going to start with Troy Clardy. Go ahead, Troy.
Thomas, congrats. Two things. Number one, take us through the blocked extra point.
Yeah, so I feel like the entire day we've been getting pretty good pressure in terms of our field goal block and our PAT block. And for whatever reason, I specifically hadn't connected. I think Simi Fehoko had blocked one earlier in the game, so we knew that it was there. Actually, I think the previous block to that one, I gotten the similar amount of penetration, but I just missed. The ball was either to the left or the right of me. So knowing that the game was on the line, I knew that I had to get off. I tried to time the snap as well as I could, got off, got penetration, got my hand up, and I got enough penetration to where I think it hit me on the elbow. So it was a great way to end the game, and thankful for the guys that were with me on the field goal block that allowed me to get that penetration.
Special teams obviously key, but defensively much better. The best performance so far of the year for the Stanford defense. What do you think this performance from the Stanford defense says about that side of the ball and what it can be perhaps the rest of the season?
I think we definitely play well, but obviously there are things to clean up. I think they rushed for too many yards. So knowing that and the fact that they still, we held them to about 23 points is a good thing. I think the big thing with us was getting off the field. You know, if you look at their third down percentage rate and their conversion rate, it was pretty low. So it was kind of a bend not break scenario where, yeah, we were giving up some yards we shouldn't have, but when it came down to it, we were getting off the field. You know, so I think that's the key for our defense. You can excuse a lot of other mistakes if you can get off the field on third down. So, yeah, I think we did a better job with that, and it coalesced in a W.
Next question will go to RJ Abadia. Go ahead, RJ.
Thomas, can you just talk about Cal's offense and kind of for the first time seeing a team that plays a little bit similar to you guys? Did you guys have a comfort level going in, considering what you thought they were going to try to do to you?
Yeah, so, I mean, for us, I feel like it was a lot of outside runs and then quick passes. So it was a bit of a different dynamic to what we'd had in previous games, specifically with Colorado. Colorado ran the ball downhill a lot in between the tackles. So it made for a different dynamic where the defensive linemen were having to rush for a little bit and then pursue the ball, you know? So it was a different dynamic for sure. Obviously, their quarterback can run. He's got great feet, and he showed them off today. So us trying to contain him while trying to stop that rushing attack, again, I feel like we could have done a better job in some areas, but at the end of the day, when it mattered most, we got off the field. So.
And then can you just talk about the feeling of just getting a win? It's well over a calendar year in days since you guys got one of those, and just how does it feel and how important was it really to go through a full week of practice that ends the right way for you guys?
It's huge, honestly. You know, it's been a while since we got a win, like you just said. So being able to actually feel that feeling again, you know, when you haven't felt it for, as you said, a calendar year is huge. You know, I think the big thing for our team and our confidence is that you practice all week and you want to put a product on the field that wins games. So you know that your work is going in the right direction. And I think for us, even though this is a gritty, ugly win, a win is a win, you know, and you can build on that for weeks to come. And you know what it looks like to get a W and to pull it out. Because for too many weeks prior, we hadn't been doing that. So it's great to finally get a W, put one in that column, and move on to next week because we know we can do it now. We put it on tape.
Thank you, Thomas.
Jacob Rayburn has our next question.
So Thomas, wondering if you could tell us what you think of Tomas's performance today.
Man, he went crazy. 3 sacks. I think this is a coming out party for him. He played fantastic football, and without his performance, I don't think we win that game. So to have somebody to the right of me that's performing like that makes my job easier. So extremely proud of him, extremely thankful that he's on my side of the ball. And a hat trick isn't too bad for the big game. So
thanks.
And moving on to Rusty Simmons.
I was going to ask about the post-game celebration. I know you guys got your hands on the axe and got to take a picture with it. Tell me some of the emotions involved in something like that.
I mean, I think I said it in a previous answer, but getting a W nonetheless in the big game, one of, if not the biggest game of the year for us, especially when last year we had a heart-wrenching loss at the hands of Cal. it's huge, you know, and especially when they got the whole thing with our acts painted on their sideline. It was very, very sweet to be able to take it back in such a fashion at Cal Berkeley and go back home to Stanford holding what rightfully is ours.
I was going to ask you about that. With that as the backdrop, did that make it more special in the moment?
For sure. Yeah, no, the context and the background always help.
Right on. Thank you.
Next question is from Harold Gutman. Go ahead, Harold.
Hi, Thomas. When you mentioned the heart-wrenching loss last year, Cal had a long drive to win the game last year. They had another long drive this year to almost tie the game. Did you get a sense of deja vu when that was happening? And did you feel like you really needed to block the kick to put an end to this?
Yeah, I definitely had some kind of sense of deja vu. Obviously, there are similar scenarios to the end of each game. Obviously, slightly different scores, but similar scenarios. So I feel like when they scored that touchdown, I was like, all right, I've been getting pressure all day on this guy. If there's one time where I can get a kick blocked, it's right now, you know? So I think that was the thing going into it. But even if we hadn't gotten that kick blocked, the mentality is always, all right, the game's not over. We get to play more football. So I think for us, the big thing this year has been whatever it takes being our mantra. So whether it was blocking a kick or not blocking it and going into OT or doing whatever we had to do to come out of Cal with a W, that was what we were going to do. Thankfully, we got pressure on the kick, blocked it, and our offense executed down the stretch to get us that first down to end the game. But however it goes, we were ready for it.
And we've got time for one final question as the team heads back to Palo Alto. We'll go to Troy Clardy to finish it off.
Yeah, without a crowd in the stadium bringing its energy, especially what this crowd would have been like here today if there had been one, was it easier for you guys to bring your energy to the game?
I think it's always a difficult dynamic when you're going to specifically a rival game where there's so many people and it's so loud. You can hear the decibels coming in and having it basically be the same kind of aura and atmosphere as a practice, you know? So I think the big thing for both teams, and specifically us, was bringing our own juice, you know, having our own sidelines be our biggest fan section. And I think we did that today. Obviously, we had some explosive plays, fumble recoveries, block kicks. It's a lot easier to get hyped up when you're making plays, but bringing our own juice and understanding that we can't rely on a crowd or whatever to get us hyped up or the moment to get us hyped up. It's our job, you know? So it was definitely a different experience, but such as 2020, this is what we got to get used to.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. And thank you, everybody, for joining today.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.